Have you ever wondered why some people pray for more money year after year, work harder than ever, and still never seem to move forward financially? What if the problem is not a lack of opportunity, not a lack of intelligence, and not even a lack of effort? What if the real reason is something far more uncomfortable? What if God sees something in the way a person handles money today that makes giving them more money dangerous instead of beneficial? Most people assume that if they had more income, their problems would disappear. But throughout the Bible, we repeatedly see a different principle. More money does not automatically create wisdom. More money often reveals what was already hiding inside the heart. And by the end of this video, you will understand several biblical reasons why some people never receive the financial increase they desperately want. More importantly, you will discover what needs to change if you want to become someone who can be trusted with greater financial responsibility. One of the most overlooked biblical principles about money is stewardship. In the parable of the talents, Jesus described servants who were entrusted with resources by their master. The servants who managed their resources faithfully received greater responsibility. The servant who failed to manage what he already had lost the opportunity to receive more. The lesson is simple but powerful. God often looks at how people manage what they already have before expanding what they are given. Many people pray for a bigger paycheck while constantly wasting the income they currently receive. They spend without planning. They buy things they do not need. They ignore opportunities to save. Then they wonder why financial growth never arrives. Imagine a business owner looking for a manager. Would he give control of $1 million to someone who repeatedly mishandles $1,000? Probably not. The same principle applies to life. Faithfulness with small things often comes before greater opportunities. But this is not even the biggest reason some people struggle financially. There is another issue hiding beneath the surface. Many people want more money for the wrong reasons. Jesus warned that a person's life does not consist in the abundance of possessions. Money itself is not evil, but the desire behind the pursuit of money matters. Some people want wealth primarily to impress others. Some want status. Some want control. Some want revenge against people who once doubted them. When financial goals become driven by pride, the pursuit itself becomes dangerous. Think about how often people say they want financial freedom. Yet when you listen carefully, what they really want is admiration. They want people to notice them. They want validation. The problem is that money amplifies motives. If pride exists before wealth arrives, wealth often multiplies that pride. This is why character matters so much. God may delay financial increase not because he wants to punish someone, but because he sees what that increase would do to them. And there is a detail many people completely miss. The next reason is a lack of self-control. One of the fruits of the Spirit mentioned in Scripture is self-control. This principle affects every area of life, including finances. A person who cannot control spending habits usually believes more money will solve the problem. In reality, more money often magnifies the problem. Someone who spends recklessly with $1,000 usually spends recklessly with $10,000. The numbers change. The habits remain the same. We see this repeatedly in real life. Lottery winners become wealthy overnight and then lose everything a few years later. Professional athletes earn millions and still end up bankrupt. The issue was never the amount of money. The issue was the inability to manage it wisely. God is far more interested in building discipline than providing temporary abundance. Because without discipline, abundance becomes a burden rather than a blessing. But there is an even deeper reason many people never consider. Some people cannot be trusted with more money because they have never learned generosity. Throughout Scripture, generosity is presented as evidence of a healthy heart. This does not mean giving money away recklessly. It means recognizing that resources are tools, not masters. Many people promise that they will become generous after they get rich. But generosity rarely begins after wealth arrives. Generosity usually begins before wealth appears. A person who refuses to help others when they have little often refuses when they have much. The amount changes. The mindset remains the same. Think about two individuals earning the same income. One constantly looks for ways to serve others and support meaningful causes. The other hoards everything out of fear. Which person demonstrates greater trustworthiness? Which person views money as a tool rather than an idol? Often the difference has nothing to do with income. It has everything to do with the condition of the heart. And now we arrive at perhaps the most important lesson of all. Many people say they trust God, but their financial decisions reveal that they trust money more. This is a difficult truth. Jesus taught that no one can serve two masters. A person cannot fully serve both God and money. Yet countless people unknowingly organize their entire lives around financial fear. Every decision becomes controlled by anxiety. Every opportunity is evaluated only through the lens of immediate profit. Every setback creates panic. In those moments, money stops being a tool and becomes a source of security. The problem is that God often develops trust before increasing resources. He wants people to find security in Him rather than in their bank account. Because when money becomes a substitute for faith, more money rarely solves the underlying problem. It simply creates a larger version of the same struggle. But what does this look like in real life? Consider the story of a small business owner named David. For years he prayed for God to bless his business. He worked long hours, he constantly asked for more customers and higher revenue, yet growth remained slow. Frustrated and discouraged, he eventually decided to examine his habits honestly. What he discovered surprised him. He realized he was careless with expenses. He often made impulsive purchases. He delayed important responsibilities. He rarely invested in improving his skills. Most importantly, he had developed an unhealthy obsession with proving his success to others. Instead of focusing on serving customers well, he focused on appearing successful. Over time, David changed his approach. He became more disciplined. He created a budget. He improved his service. He practiced generosity. He stopped chasing appearances and started focusing on stewardship. The financial growth did not happen overnight, but something remarkable occurred. Opportunities began appearing. New partnerships emerged. Revenue increased steadily. Looking back, David realized that the biggest transformation was not his business, it was his character. The person who originally asked for more money could not have handled the success that eventually arrived. This brings us to the central truth of today's message. The question is not simply whether you are ready for more money. The deeper question is whether more money is ready for you. God is not impressed by the size of a bank account. He is concerned with wisdom, character, stewardship, self-control, generosity, trust. These qualities determine whether wealth becomes a blessing or a burden. If you want greater financial opportunities, start by examining how you handle what you already have. Manage small responsibilities faithfully. Develop discipline. Check your motives. Practice generosity. Build trust. Because sometimes the greatest financial breakthrough is not receiving more money. Sometimes it is becoming the kind of person who can be trusted with it when it arrives. As you think about everything we discussed today, ask yourself one honest question. If your income doubled tomorrow, would your financial habits improve, or would your current habits simply become larger? Your answer may reveal more than you think.